All right, welcome everyone to a new video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about as to why most people actually fail with social media marketing. And I'm primarily talking about just experience here that I've had to go through and I've seen other people go through. And this is really just basic and fundamental stuff that really just gets overseen. Okay, and I'll promise you that after you've gone through this entire video, you will not have seen this before, right? Like, I don't want to teach you some stuff that you already know. I think it's quite clear you need a niche, you need an offer to start an agency, you need to do outreach, and you need to do sales. But there's a big reason as to why people fail, even though like it's just three main components with SMMA. So today I'm going to be talking about that in this video. But before I dive into the video, I just wanted to mention that we recently just released our new program, which is called the Agency Autopilot Program, which can help you go from 0 to a 6-figure agency, as Danny and me are currently doing ourselves and have helped many other people do the same. And we also have a free training you can find in the description. And our Facebook group has been growing immensely. We got over almost 2,000 people now in that group itself, and it's all agency owners, consultants, just like really sharing value with each other, holding each other accountable, and it's just like really a tight-knit and nice like-minded community. So if you want to be a part of that, just go to the description down below and join in. And then lastly, before I dive into the video, you can also follow my Instagram. If you go to the link in the description, it's @Bastiaan SLOT_. You'll be able to like follow me behind the scenes as to what I do in my agency, how I run my operations, and everything that's just like happening from day to day. So now that I've got it out of the way, let's dive right into the video. Today we're going to be talking about as I mentioned, why most people fail with SMMA, okay? And I'm just gonna first of all explain every component and the main components that really make it valuable, as to like how you can really go from a message to a meeting, how you can go from a conversation to a sale, how you can basically go from nothing to, like positioning yourself in a market as an agency. So it's quite clear, we all need a niche to serve and really start somewhere narrowed down, because if we just like start in a big market, we're just gonna get demolished by competition. It's, really the same if you just open up a restaurant in Colorado. You will, like make a lot of losses, and with time you'll just be out of business because you're entering just such a big market. So always starting with a sub niche with your agency is the ideal way to go, right? And then it's really simple. You just do research. You have an offer that is result based, and I'm going to be touching on all of these more detailed as we go along. So it's just niche, research, RBO, and the messaging that you have with your agency, right? That actually strikes a nerve with the prospect you have. And then with outreach, there's a lot of ways to do outreach, but this is just what we do for our own agency, and like what we also teach our students to do. So it's Facebook, LinkedIn, email. It's just really, kind of looking at what is the best proven channel for me, because if it's more B2B focused, you want to be on LinkedIn. If, like your audience, like, I don't know, coaches and consultants, and you run ads for them, Facebook will be the way. And that is just in my experience. And then with sales, it's primarily about your offer, the credibility you have, and the sales structure. It's going to add credibility here real quick, because that is key. So right now, I want to talk about as to why most people fail. And that's because they all see this as loose parts, right? They just see, okay, I got to pick a niche, I got to get an offer, that's it. Then I got to do outreach, then I got to get people in a meeting, and then I got to close them, right? And that's basically how it works. But what most people don't understand is, I'm just gonna touch on the big mistake, and then the second big mistake I see often, and I've made myself as well, and it took me years to figure out, and actually had an epiphany moment, and that's like how I was able to scale my own agency to where it's today at 20K a month, and that would literally not have been able to actually get to that point if I didn't understand the following. So what most people do is they see this as just loose parts. And essentially, this is basically a system, right? Without your research, you will not resonate in the outreach messages you do. If you don't do your research, you will not know what people actually want. If you don't do your research, you won't be able to speak the market's language. Just to give you a very simple example, like fitness. I think most of us are familiar with the terms like bulking, which is like gaining weight, and cutting, which is cutting down in weight. And there's like, a different language in every kind of market, to be frank with you. And so what most people do is they just see this as loose little parts, okay? While this actually, if you've got good messaging, you're gonna get more meetings because your messaging actually strikes a nerve in the market, and people will reply back to you if you actually have done your due diligence, you know what they want or you know what they need, and you actually make your outreach message specifically about that, right? So when you do your research, this will be 10 times more powerful. When you have an offer that's result driven, I'm gonna dive deeper into that in a minute here, you're gonna get way more responses and way more meetings. If your messaging is on point, it's really the same, right? And when this happens, you're just gonna get way more meetings. Whereas if you just say, I do Facebook ads for local businesses, and that's, again, the big mistake when you start in a big market, because there's 250 million local businesses. Or if you even say, I help gyms, well, there's a lot of kind of different gyms, right? You got personal training boot camps, you got CrossFits, you got home gyms, and there's just like a lot of different kind of gyms. So that's also like a big mistake that's made. And when that is all narrowed and just really set, you can grow from that, right? And the same with sales, as I mentioned, like if you don't do your research and you don't know what people need, then it's really gonna be extremely hard to actually sell them because you don't know what they need or want, right? So now I wanna break down the big mistake that people make. So what I do in my agency, I help plastic surgeons get 10 to 15 more breast augmentation patients every single month. And I literally wouldn't have been able to just come up with it myself if I didn't do my research, right? And they also like a lot of other stuff, like giving procedures like mummy makeovers, and that is also extremely high ticket. But we've just really narrowed down on one offer. So one big mistake I see really often is people offer Facebook ads and not a result, right? But I'm actually all right, so I just had to make some room to really explain and drive my point home. So most people, their offer is Facebook ads, right? Just Facebook ads. Or it's Google ads. Or Instagram ads. You've got a lot of kind of different ads you can run, LinkedIn ads, and way more. And sorry for my bad writing, but either way, the point I'm trying to make is this is a process to drive a result to a business. And businesses, or even people, they don't buy processes or ads just to buy ads. They buy ads to drive a result to their business. And Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn is just a means to drive the result to that business. So when you don't understand that and you just offer Facebook ads, and I used to scratch my head because I thought everyone wanted Facebook ads. But then when I actually started doing my research properly, which I can make a separate video about in the future, my meetings just went drastically up, right? Because I actually took the effort to talk with my market, to research my market, and really look at what they want or need, and then really double down on that and use that in my outreach, right? Because when you're fake about who you serve, right? So local businesses or gyms, and what you offer, Facebook ads or Instagram ads, what's it supposed to do? It's gonna be really hard to, get a result, get a meeting and close a meeting. Those are the two most important parts really of running an agency, right? And for my agency, once I actually doubled down, and this was like last August, as I mentioned in my full story, I invested into Trey and another person who was extremely good at what he does. And I truly just had an epiphany moment of wow, I've been doing it wrong the entire time, right? And when I look back at my first client, I'm baffled because all I really did was just social media management for him and Facebook ads. And as I said, I'm baffled. But he really just gave me an opportunity because we built a relationship. But that's a story for another day. May do even a cool interview with him. He's an amazing guy. But guys, this is really just my point. You don't want to just offer a process. You want to drive an outcome to a business, right? And that's different for every business, for every market. Right, what gyms want is not something that personal injury lawyers want. What personal injury lawyers want is not something what plastic surgeons want. It's different for every market. That's why you have to do the tedious process of doing research. That's why you just need to start really, I'll just write it here in a sub-niche to really create a blue ocean opportunity for yourself, which I'll discuss in another video as to how you can do that. Because most people just enter a red shark, ocean portion, and you just get destroyed or you get demotivated because nothing happens, right? So that's something I'll talk about in a future video. But you really just want a sub-niche. You want to do your research, and you really want to have what I call a result-based offer. So not just an offer, a result-based offer. And then from these three things, you can create your messaging, right? Because you need to have an offer and really a specialization one-liner is what I call it. You can also look at my LinkedIn and just check that out. And this really just, I'm just gonna write it here. I'm terrible at whiteboards, by the way. Your messaging. And when you have that, outreach will be a lot easier, sales will be a lot easier. So guys, if you recognize you're somewhere yourself, saying I help local businesses get more clients through Facebook ads, or is something really that's too broad or kind of fake, then you need to, really take the information in this video and run with it. In one of my older videos called How to Build Your Social Media Marketing Agency to 20K per month, I go a little bit more in depth on how to pick your niche, how to do research, how to come up with an offer and your messaging. So this is really, me observing people that just are starting with their agency, because I also help a lot of people start and grow their agency, that they just make this mistake, right? And a lot of people who are already an existing agency owner, they also come to me and I have to fix that, broken system that they have. It's a system, it's not just, loose parts. That's really how a business works. So, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope it was valuable to you. If you've got any questions about the video, just leave a comment down below. And I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like, you could subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and also just leave a comment down below with your thoughts. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.